Hello and welcome to the final day of Tarnished Deathmatch Season 6. It's not a double favorite. We start with the bronze match between Maldhar and favorite. If you've clicked here, you've been spoiled about the semis. That happens on a final stream. Hope you are ready for the decision of Tarnished Deathmatch Season 6. And I'm wondering if I'll hear from my co-caster, but I guess we do the drafts alone for now. I hope you're all feeling good. I hope you have your snacks ready, because this is gonna be the final showdown of this season. Favorite versus Maldhar. We saw the semifinals yesterday. And they were really good games, but the scorelines were not the closest, which massively surprised me for the favorite versus Andy set, but Andy looked in very good shape. Let's see, favorite can look better against Maldhar, even though it was super close. Just do a Tom impression and co-cast with yourself? Yeah, I don't think Tom is... I have no clue how to do a Tom impression. Maldhar picking hyper random again, so is also going for that as an underdog strategy against favorite. And he picks Serengeti. I think he likes Serengeti. He proposed Serengeti for the season as well, I think. Especially this version. And goes for Runestone. So that's exactly the same map picks as he did versus Frost, I believe. Favorite going for Outcrop, Fez and Aftermath. So... yeah, a bit more the maps for map control. I think also the same map picks as yesterday. We do start on Akarai, so we're gonna get an action-packed game number 1. Bans have already come in. We're in the first picks here. Shouldn't have waited for Tom, maybe. But we do see a double Celt, Jurchens and Magyars as the other picks. And we do have... Gujaras open, Turks open, Chinese open, but that's more water picks, right? For land, we don't seem to have anything strong left. Lots of the really heavy hitters banned by the players here. Mongols and Berbers fall to the admin bans, same as Spanish, Bengalis, Saracens and Georgians. The later bans really have it in them. No Maya, no. Well, that's the Incas though, right? Hi Lucky Comes, hi Mojido. Japanese picked by Maldhar. So, favorite, couldn't make them work yesterday. No, who picked them yesterday? I forgot. Hazy was streaming a lot for champs, but I don't think those were Japanese champs. Hello Hazy. How's your voice doing after all the screaming yesterday? As we do see also Romans and Gujaras for Maldhar, so Maldhar getting all of Hazy's and my favorite civilizations. Vietnamese, Britons coming in for favorite. He has Koreans, Teutons, Tatars, so lots of siege in favorites draft. Jurchens also a bit more siege oriented than Magyars, but we might see Jurchens and Celts sniped here maybe. Or we might see a Magyar snipe if favorite values them higher. You lost my voice by the end of the night. Understandable, you were screaming a lot in the wood game. Certainly. Hello, Greek. How much does a town center cost? Ah, all the memes from yesterday, let's go. That was a great stream yesterday. And Hazy was the more reliable co-caster, it seems. I did message Tom half an hour ago. Italians! Italians! A 0% win rate Civ in the draft for the 3rd place match. Portuguese! My god, I guess there's really nothing left, right? Is there? Khitans, Poles, Chinese on land maps, Lithuanians, woo, even on land maps maybe. Byzantines, would have picked Byzantines over quite a few of these. And Incas, also no Incas, no Byzantines. Well, one of them might get picked now. But yeah, that's everything strong banned. Like, there's nothing really good left. Hindustani is picked after Portuguese even, so we don't have hamsters in the bronze match here. Incas as the late pick. So we do have some mezzo for the mezzo-loving mojito. I feel like Chinese aren't this bad on land. I feel like also Chinese could have been picked up over Hindus or Portu or Italians or I don't mind Inca too much. Even though against the draft of favorite, I don't see where you really play Inca. Inca Vietnamese was a matchup we theorized over a lot with Ganji at one point. It was pretty clear who was winning that. Lord have mercy! Favorite! Forgets the snipe in the bronze match! No frigging way! And he snipes the Incas. And I know there are some people who would let you repick their snipe. I wouldn't be one of them. I would say that's your mistake. And I know Maldhar is on the same page as me. Favorite should not forget the snipe. It's simple as that. And that means Maldhar has both Magyars and Celts available. Lord have mercy. That's some trouble. Hezi has his good fun with it. And I think with that we have to prefer Maldhar's draft, right? Hezi prefers it anyways because it is Japanese and Romans. I also think I like more of his late picks than the ones of favorite, even though Vietnamese Britons are quite good. I mean, Celts, Koreans, Teutons, Tatars can still be a scary lineup there for favorite. And keep in mind, grand finals right after this. This is the concluding day of Tarnished Deathmatch. We are starting on Akarai. I'm actually feeling quite good today, so I guess it's fine. I can solo cast the bronze match. Even though I did want to cast a Dom. Well, these are you confirmed for the finals. Well, I guess I'm gonna take him out of the title. I do have a lot of co-casters there, but it doesn't feel planned. I tried to plan everything. But that means at least you guys can tell me what we're gonna see on Akarai for Sivs, right? For game number 1. Well, we could obviously just see Celt Mirror. I think there's a pretty clear-cut Korean pick here for favorite. As he says Britons. Does that feel great against anything with Maldhar could pick? Maldhar could go Romans. Oh yeah, Maldhar is convinced of Romans on Akarai. I talked to him about it. I played it against him. So I think Maldhar will go Roman. Okay, my prediction is set. We're gonna see Romans versus Koreans for game 1. Romans are great, but not versus Koreans. Yeah, but does he have anything great versus Koreans? I don't see a great Civ versus Koreans on Maldhar's side. Maybe you can try Turks, but Janissaries, you have to make Janissaries from the castles. Does feel a bit May. You could obviously go your Celts pick, but I'm not sure you really want to start on your Celts pick. So that's why I think Maldhar is confident enough in the Romans to try it versus Koreans at least. And favorite could go Teutons as well. I think Teutons are pretty good as well. Could be good against Romans. Maybe he doesn't want to use the Koreans yet. I could see Romans Teutons happening here as well. What if you go surprise Turks? I feel like it isn't that great against Koreans. I think Romans might have a better chance. I mean, Centurions are Centurions, man. Well, let's see, the players have picked. I think I'm gonna stick to my Romans versus Koreans prediction, and we're about to find out. Let's get started into the third place match. And oh boy, Hezzy knew everything apparently. Not everything, I was right about the Romans, so I figured out Maldhar. But it is indeed a Britain pick. It's the classic carry me or die 1 matchup. Britons versus Romans for game 1. Let's go. Welcome to Tarnished Deathmatch on the final day. Who will make it onto the podium? Will it be Maldhar who's starting as the Romans? Or will it be Favorite with the Britons? He played them in game 1 in the semifinals as well. It didn't work out the way he wanted it to. But maybe they can match up better against the more Western Britain civilization. Triple Rex into extra castles. Because we do start with 2 castles. Petard production has started. It wasn't properly gather pointed onto the walls though for Favorite. And on the left side, we do have the Romans with their Centurions already out, so Maldhar quicker on the castle draw. Legionaries coming forward can be a pretty hard matchup for Britons, especially because of the strong infantry and the overall strong siege, strong ram scorp play by Romans. And ram scorp mass is something Britons struggle against, so I do like this matchup for Maldhar. Yeah, it isn't maybe not as bad as one thinks. It's still pretty bad though. I like Romans a lot more. But it's still, I don't think it's full silver. Britons can delay with their longbow mass and their strong trebuchets. You can make something happen. Maldhar is already breaking through the lines here with the Centurions. Hasn't killed a single villager, but is still delaying the build-up here by forcing the villagers to be all in the same area. Why don't you say hi? Yeah, why don't you? So is Favorite the favorite, or can Maldhar win? Favorite is the favorite, but Maldhar can win. I would say both is true. And the Legionaries run in and go after the trebuchets, and it's a good start for Maldhar to the bronze match. And for Maldhar, 3rd place match in TDM would be a big achievement. And for Favorite, it would still be a better spot than he was in last season. Last season, Favorite actually had to fight to go, not to go down against Boomstick and me. This time, he can only go up from the 4th to the 3rd place, but the Rams are going in, the Rams are coming after the castle. It's a very strong start for Maldhar, and Maldhar's convincedness of Romans on Akarai is paying dividends. Some onagers trying to come out behind the castles to defend them, but this castle is stopped at 12 HP that could die whenever something attacks it. Should be deleted, obviously, and that castle falling already is quite the big dent in Favorite space. That castle gets killed by a legionary or by some splash damage. I don't know. Was it actually killed? Pick a time. Let's look. I want to see if the 12 HP castle... Oh, that's so great. It died to the charge damage. Oh, no. It died to a ram. I thought it died to the splash damage of a legionary charge, but I don't think it has splash, right? It has a charge attack, but it doesn't have splash. It's not to half speed. And even the hill castles that you started with are getting trapped. We see Doc's Favorite try to play Navy on this map. There's demos coming in, intercepting some of the follow-up from Maldhar. And as he said yesterday, Favorite, even if you haven't pushed so far, never really dies. He held on very long against the way yesterday with the Britons. Maybe he can do the same. It didn't lead to a win though, and I don't think this should. But Maldhar's fully out of gold. There's some resource and some Q left on favorite side. Maldhar spent everything into Centurions. The big early oomph with the Centurions, that's what you're going for when you pick Romans here, because this unit is very expensive, but it's also super strong with the charge attack, with relatively good armor and 175 HP. But the charge attack especially is helping a lot for this unit. Also obviously makes the infantry stronger next to it. And DM is kind of the place where you actually do play Paladin Champ. But favorite does stabilize. Maldhar kills a lot of the castles, and all of a sudden the cheap Briton army is there, and the cheap naval control is there, and Maldhar has invested everything into the Centurions. I foreshadowed it correctly. Maldhar is out of juice. And favorite now all of a sudden has 130 army. No marketplace, Mojito. There was indeed no market placed. Now market is coming into actions. Market is now used by Maldhar. But his big push chance is over. The Centurion's super expensive, as I said. And he's basically out of food and out of gold at the same time. And that will take quite a while for him to recover. All the while, favorite with 144 army can push back here. Already a banger of a game 1 on this final day of TDM. $50 longbows stacked up, but there's nothing to punish that. Well, some scorpions, but I don't think that's enough. Okay, and he spreads them out again. If only Romans had demos. If only Romans had demos, then he could explode these longbows. That is true, but they don't. And the longbows might snipe them anyways. Military in front, getting Scorpion. Maldhar was able to field another army. Has another army of 70. It's 70 pretty strong units. The demos are not doing anything for the push. They can kind of only hold here on the water. We do have a good amount of Britain siege behind it though. 6 trebuchets with the Warwolf technology. Can take out opponent's siege pretty well as well. And Maldhar is moving for the relics. Game has stabilized a bit. Favorite not really leaving the safety of the riverbanks secured by the Briton demolitions. Tough to kill Britons, indeed. Maldhar has tried again. He's crossing the river. The demos are taken out by the Scorps. The Rams are going for the trebuchets. Loaded up with some Centurions. They pop out onto the Halberdiers once they have made it close to the longbows. Onagers are falling to Rams. Onager is falling. The other one gets away. Longbowmen on the retreat under the TCs. And we have Centurion raids as well. Favorite had such a big army, right? I've commented on that. Means on the flip side, you don't have the population space for economy, so his eco development was delayed by him having so many troops. Therefore, only now 60 villages on the field. Britons don't need that many. He has 40 on gold, but actually spent quite a lot of his food. So, yeah, we'll need some farms even with the Britons. Yeah, without Rams in front, Scorpions are pretty vulnerable to the longbows. It will take out half a space by the time it needs eco. I mean, it doesn't have to reproduce anything, right? Maldhar always have to wait for another wave. The main composition of favorite doesn't die. And his infantry is even alive, so yeah, it doesn't need to replace that or spend food on that. Maldhar had like another pushback, but then was a bit too eager, I think, running in here with the Centurions. Really need the Centurion mass to make the Romans work and push the Britons back, so... There is that. I guess Romans didn't need to win this quickly. Maldhar was looking like he was doing it. But the later it goes, it's always the better for the Britons, because everything's cheap and longbows kill kind of everything that's in lower numbers than them. Besides some counter units, I played an epic game with Britons against Koreans earlier. I sent it to Lucky Comes because I knew he would love it. So maybe he's gonna cast it at some point. Main gold can't be taken by Maldhar. He does have good eco, 40 farms, 30 gold. It is the slow Britain push. I guess I'm gonna leave the voice channel for now. I don't know, I enjoy solo casting right now, it's fine. Maldhar going for another clear-up attempt. It is a strong army. It's a lot of... Ooh, they're all stacked up. They're all stacked up. They're all stacked up. There's Werewolf. Werewolf also means... you don't have ballistics though, and Maldhar is using that and maneuvering around the Werewolf. Short maneuvers into the minimum range of the Briton trebuchets. Otherwise the Centurions are fighting the elite longbowmen. They kill like half of them. Some rams are there now again, but the traps have all fallen, so Maldhar buys time here. Maldhar also has 5 relics in a very ugly paced monastery. Like, at least if you insist on having them at the top, at least put it in the corner. Oh! That wasn't a demo, right? Oh, that was a demo! That was a demo! They were clearing the longbows here. Wrong point in time to look at the monastery. But we have Pro. We can watch it again. And the longbows retreat. The demos come forward. Maldhar isn't looking. And his Centurions, costly Centurions, run into the demo defense. The longbows clear them up the rest of the Scorpions, and it looked like Maldhar had found a way into the game again. But then the demos came around the corner and secure the position again for Favorite, who can once more contest Maldhar's main gold. Ikaray is a water map, finally. I've been playing around the idea of actually doing what we didn't do this season, but was said previously. And maybe getting rid of the riverbank for next season if you want to use Ikaray again. Because then water would do more of an impact, and this kind of transformed into a siege map. I think maybe if we delete the riverbank then it isn't a siege map. And more of a water map. I think it could be a fun little change to Ikaray. It was a quite liked map this season, so I think it could return next season, and maybe we do a little twist like that. I saw really good reasons for this, and I don't think it was bad with it, but it would be nice. It would be maybe a nice change without it, right? Just to change things up a bit. And the meta has been very siege heavy. I liked it very much at the start of the tournament, but then it was like this absolute siege meta, which I guess we're not really seeing here, right? But Strike Muffin would like it without the riverbank. I almost want to split this map into 2. One more focused on the interesting water split, one without water but the starting castles. I think that would be interesting too, yeah. Maldhar calls the GG. Can't beat the Romans long term as Favorite establishes firm control over his main goal. Yes, both these players don't like siege. Maldhar? I think Maldhar does like siege, no? At least he used to. Tusky says, honestly, I hate the front main gold spawn on this map. I think I feel the same as a player. Maybe you could do more with like water and mobility if the gold wouldn't spawn on the front. Yeah, that could be also something that could be adapted. But maybe Mojito wants to draw 2 concepts for the 2 variants of Ikaray anyways, and then we can take a look. But favorite takes game 1 with the Britons. Not so bad of a matchup after all. It looked very dicey at the start. There was a really good push in by Maldhar. With the Rams. Half the base was gone, but then he ran out of gold, ran out of steam, and favorite was able to come back and never really let go of his forward position. GG. Favorite takes the first game win on Accurate overall. Maldhar had so much more pop here in the middle. So much more villagers. Not actually pop though, we did have the massive army military population here. Up to 170 military. For favorite, deciding the game in his favor. That we can return to the draft, and the Britons' relatively late pick takes a win over the Romans, who were picked a little bit earlier. Favorite takes the 1-0. And we are moving on to hyper random. What could we see on hyper random? Water maps for Gujaras? No, so I'm saying Gujaras versus Koreans. Koreans on hyper random? Feels like a gamble. Gujaras Vietnamese. Let's go. Who? Well, if Maldhar doesn't win this, then it's a water map. And what is this map? It's not Arabia. That much we know. Welcome to Hyper Random, a crazy generation. We do have a big lake kind of towards the left middle, a lot of hilly generation, lakes in the left and the right side corner. That is a very interesting map layout and a fair one, I think. Both can reasonably access these lakes and access the middle one. I like that. We also start with an elite conquistador instead of a starting scout. And we do have the Celts versus the Portuguese. If this isn't the 1-1, then favorite wins the third place match. Because I don't know what Portuguese is doing here. I think Portuguese were a gamble for a full water map or something. Because if it's like full, you start on hyper terrain, then Portuguese is actually one of the best civilizations. But that did not happen, and the Celts have enough land under their feet in order to be the favorite civilization here. I feel we do have castles, we do have siege workshops. We're actually starting with some cavalry to rush the Celts a bit. Celts are not starting with paladins, it is full infantry into siege ball for the Celts. Who's the Giga Chat who bet 15k on favorite before seeing this? If somebody that is regretting their choice. You can actually see it if you type on the. I can look for it. I shouldn't. I should be casting and not caring about Gamba, but it's so funny. It's Tusky. No, it's not Tusky. Tusky Vedandanda. It's Claymal. Hi Claymal. Made some people happy, I guess. Let's see, maybe favorite does win it in the end, and then you're the one who laughs, right? As the siege is coming forward. Favorite wants to use the water, wants to dock. Can you not dock it? You can dock it. He's docking it there. Maybe you can't dock it everywhere. No, looks like you can dock it everywhere. And Tusky wants to take those points. Hi Tusky, hi Be Easy, hi Lucky Comes, hi everybody. I will interact a bit with chat during the third place match. Then grand finals will probably be 90% focused on the games. Maldhar goes towards a forward castle. And we do have a Champ Cavalier mix with the Arquebus Bombard cannons. No organ guns, interestingly. Usually organ guns, big part of the Portuguese composition. Oh, they're coming now. I was about to make an argument for why you don't want to use them with Celts, but I guess you do. I guess you still need them against the infantry, right? It's on the edges terrain. I think gold and some pretty bad golds and stones and some really, really bad berries. So nothing important. I think the golds up here are probably better. Yeah, the golds up here are a lot better. The golds in the middle are way more relevant than the golds on the sides. Kelp Paladin. We have Portuguese Cannon Galleon though. That's actually really nice. Eh? I mean, they can help against the siege from the water where they can't easily be attacked. I do think we actually do need Kelp Paladin. I think it seriously would be helpful. There's so many champs, so many organ guns. Like, Paladins are great against those units. And Maldhar completely ignoring the middle lake here gives Favorite quite some control. Maldhar will need to shift his push maybe to the top side. That's where the golds are anyways. So I think these two are like the big golden prizes that are up for grabs in the middle of the map. Combined, they have 13k gold there. So yeah, massive area on the map here, straight in the middle. But also, Cannons can still take out some buildings. Nobody has jumped on the side legs for fish boom yet, which could be useful. It's kind of 4 legs, the map where we do see fish booming in Deathmatch. Ah, and there comes Rodney talking about it at the same time. I summoned the Black Forest players with commenting on fish booms. Favorite going forward with his little bit mixed infantry cavalry combination here. Heaviliers rush to the defense, siege archers are behind. Wood Raiders are up top though, so the champions kind of going unanswered. They will sneak into the back of Maldhar's economy. Speaking of economies, both are low on economy, both have massive armies on the field. Look at this bombard cannon stack. We're playing around our Civ strength with Arquebus BBC for Favorite, and maybe Favorite felt like it was gonna be Kelts. Was this an intended counter pick? Do bombard cannons work against Kelts? Well, if any bombard cannon works against Kelts, I would say it is the Portuguese bombard cannon, the one where you can actually hit something with. Maldhar cost a GG? What? Well, Claymore is laughing in the end. I guess he's scared of the 14 bombard cannons. He doesn't have enough really much army anymore. Lost a lot against the water. Guess he's losing control, losing like to the raids in his base. He doesn't really have a place to eco and feel like these bombard cannons roll him now. Yeah, well, guess Portuguese underrated on Hyper Random, especially. They were quite good. Had a really good win rate in Fastest Chaos, so Hyper Random Portuguese. Maybe something else. It was a really nice, it was a quite nice map for them, right? They could jump into this lake, use that, and all these hills. Long map, quite defensible with the bombard cannons. Well done by Favorite, winning with the Portuguese and getting the 2-0 lead over Maldhar. And I said that's a bad sign for Maldhar, right? I can't take it back now, I suppose. The same as Tusky can't take back his bet. The Celts pick for Maldhar. Big one falling to the Portuguese of Favorite. Tusky just racking up L's at this point. He's getting bullied. Maybe that's why he wanted out of there. Favorite was what color? Favorite's red. We're on Aftermath. And that means civilization will be... Teutons versus Magyars. What do you guys say? Well, let's find out. I'm not so sure about the Teutons. Yeah. That was too risky. I hope for a good matchup for Maldhar. Favorite is smart enough to suspect the Mega pick though here and just make it an even and close civ matchup with cavalry civilizations. We do have Megas versus Tatars. I think Megas may be a little bit better. Start can be easier for the Tatars to get map control with stable units. As Maldhar is actually going half start, which opens himself up for step lancer rush. Here it's draft is loaded still. It is after two really like resource. I don't have the word. Two really nice wins with later picks. Favorite going for early market with the Tatars. He is making camels. I think if you see the Rex start, but maybe he didn't scout it, then I would like step lancers more. He kind of sees it. I guess you have camels against the CA too, and it is a CA heavy start, so yeah. If you see the ranges, right? He saw the ranges and one Rex, so I take it back. I think camels make sense because they're better against the CA, and it isn't actually a help start because it's more of a CA start by Maldhar. One Rex obviously always needed, unless you're super all-inning the CA or are called Maxi. And CA are getting some snipes for Maldhar in game number 3. Maldhar getting wrecked again. I mean, losing Celts to Portuguese wasn't pretty. Isn't this a really bad matchup for Tatars? No, I would say it's one of the most even ones. There are. I don't know. I had a super close game on Ulla with it. And the civs are really close together. They kind of do the same thing. They both have bonuses for it. I mean, the Mega bonuses are a bit better, but having camels at the start helps to get map control at the start for Tatars. Do overall like Megas a little bit more, but I think it's mainly a skill matchup where you move your armies and how you take fights. Neither workshops being taken yet? Well, Favorite just took the southern one and we're racing for the northern one! Favorite wins the race! And if you have gold, camels in front can be nice against the meat shield, depending on how you organize your army. Very low barracks number. It is being corrected now. 5 for Maldhar. He added some later. Wanted a CA for the wild snipes. Got 2 of them. Mega best civ, says Straight Arrow Gamer. Lots of Mega fans in the chat. They do have the 3rd highest win rate in TDM 6, so the stats are backing you guys up. I don't know where the Tatars are. They should have a decent one as well. But Megas are on the civilization podium in TDM 6. As of now, small changes can obviously still happen today. As we do have Cav Archer Masters for both. Mega bonus is a bit better, right? One more range. Otherwise the attack gets cancelled out by the armor. And the fact that Kashyyyks have extra pierce armor. Kashyyyks are really nice frontline units, same as Mega Hussar. Frontline versus frontline, Kashyyyk is a bit stronger. And obviously Mega Hussar is cheaper. Well, the only difference if they fight each other is that the Megas have more range. More range is useful. It's not as useful as it is in RM though. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Megas have one more attack, Tatars have one more armor, that cancels each other out. Oh. Yeah. And then you have the range advantage. You do have the traps, however, long range traps, an advantage for the Tatars. It's a big fight. Camels are joining in. Camels are getting a surround on the Cav Archers. Maldhar will have to retreat here. Meat shield is in place for Favorite with both the Kashyyyk and the camels. Therefore, pushes Maldhar's units back to another hill. We are fighting over all these little hills in the middle. Army count a little bit in favor of Favorite. Now Favorite also with 50 more kills, so takes the better early engagements. Camels quite helpful in these. That's why I said like there are some advantages for Tatars at the start, but took a really nice fight there with the surround as well. Now both are sitting on opposite hills, so as same as yesterday with Frost, we are getting a lot of hill sitting on Aftermath. Not something that happens in the lower divisions, but here at the very top we are playing around every little advantage players can get. So these little hills, even though you don't really see them much, you don't pay attention to them when you're casting Division 10, they are super important when you're casting Division 1 playoffs. And Favorite makes ground here, jumps from one hill to the next as Maldhar has to retreat from the meat shield, right? The stronger meat shield for the Tatars. The Camels and Keshik mix makes for a stronger meat shield than the Magyar Hussar. And what a stronger meat shield enables you here is to jump forward onto the next hill for the Tatars. Also, obviously, Tatar with their hill bonus making their CA a lot stronger than the Magyar CA, plus 25% more attack. Or like just 50% more attack, including the bonus, is better than one range. Favorite's out of food, he has no eco. I still see 4k in the bank, which is enough to continue the push for a bit. Maldhar running lower on resources than Favorite, and Favorite has the forward positioning the trebuchets now, and that's also nice for the Tatars. Really big range. He's not shooting at the castle yet. Is attacking to the town center, looking to deny eco. Lots of farms for Maldhar all around the base, so nicely split off, so he can't lose all his farmland at once. Now with meat shield for Maldhar, he's taking another fight. The Magyar Hussar in position, so as long as CA are shooting on the meat shield, the hills don't matter that much, because the Magyar Hussar don't matter so much. I mean, the food eco isn't really there yet, so they do still kind of matter. Only later on, when the food eco is really there, is when they get cheap. He bought food? No. He didn't. Sorry, Sniper, I tried to save you by looking it up, but he did not buy food. He DQ'd probably. Alright, let's save Sniper. He DQ'd some units. We are sure he DQ'd some units. Sniper is a wise person and a great DM player. Favorite simply DQ'd units. Only logical explanation. Bullying Sniper? What? I just did the opposite. I actually think he DQ'd. You improved your knowledge this season already with the Crepos on Accuray? You came up with the Bulgarian strategy. I was casting your Bulgarian game on Accuray. I said how great that is and that it's a fantastic strategy to play Bulgarians on Accuray. What did I do? I never picked Bulgarians in any of my sets and died multiple times to them on Accuray. I'm so dumb. I should have just freaking played Bulgarians. Griffin, you led me to the stupid Ethiopian thing. Bulgarians got banned in the outsets after that for me. I should have just picked them. Anyways, this is about the pros, not about Sniper and me, so do we have a trap fight up top? Favorite's position. Map position is looking good. Maldhar has the Magyars, gosh. They're just trying to hold on, because Magyars still have a good late game here. If the gold meat shield isn't there for Tatars anymore, then Magyars still quite similar, but they're better. That's not a hill, I think. At least not where the stand ground units are actually shooting. Maldhar is trying to snipe the trebuchets. Should get one. Doesn't even get one. So the castle is going to fall. The Favorite with some heavy pressure here in game number 3 as well. All the CS stacks are firing upon each other. Beat shield is there though for Maldhar. This is a good trade for Maldhar. 40 CA versus 33, yeah, alright. Maldhar loses the castle but wins the fight. I think that is worth it, losing the castle over taking a good engagement there. So this seems fine for Maldhar. Therefore can stabilize and push this back. And maybe get a much needed confidence boost in this third place match. So Maldhar can retain his chance to make it onto the podium. At least he evened out the third game now. Arguably has a bit of a lead. Has more population now. After nicely taking an engagement there. And yeah, therefore can get onto the map again. Shouldn't just take a bad fight after it though. Yeah, definitely don't take that one. Food eco is stronger for Maldhar. So Sniper's Wisdom strikes again. And Favorite is behind in that department. No. Maldhar even sneaks the workshop with one Mega Hussar. We'll get some gold income by that. Favorite 4 relics though. Already planning for the later stages. If there's a Sylph that doesn't need relics, it is the Magias though. Tarnished also one that doesn't need them as much, but that's super useful. If both don't need them much, then one Sylph can make more CA. Maldhar. Okay, trebuchets are building up. And that is... is there a hill? I think there is... no, there's no hill. Yeah, there's some hill on this woodline. I think Maldhar is partially on a hill. Very even CA numbers. There is some Hussar trickling in. Which is making it better from Favorite. For Favorite. Because whenever the Kevachers shoot at the Hussar, they're not shooting at the CA. Castle falls for Favorite. Maldhar is on the pushback. Kevacher numbers massively in favor of the red player though. Maldhar needs a workshop, but he got a workshop. Trickle isn't that strong. It's not as strong as it was last season on Amazon Aftermath. I have Flaming Camels to pop out. Oh yeah, there was actually a perfect opportunity to Flaming Camel. They were all standing here. If there ever was a chance for Flaming Camels against Seer to work, it was this one. Rodney knowing more than the players. That would have been genius. Black Sky, the host of the league. He exists still. I mean, he's been here all the time. Don't fire me. No, do fire me. Actually, whatever. We got to Trainer casting. Maldhar has a good number of CA again. He's back to 50. Maldhar seems fine in this game number 3. Favorite retreats to a hill. Obviously, Tarnished want to take fights on hills. Magias traps are still forward. And are firing at this castle. It will go up. Question is, will it stay up? Might even stay up, because I think Maldhar has to retreat here. Okay, he's retreating onto a hill behind the CA. The traps, kind of making the traps a nice meat shield. As the Kevachers don't really damage that. And now they defend the Hussar as well. Traps defended, castle down. This game might be turning in Maldhar's favor. Also takes a nice engagement. Mega Hussar versus CA in the south. All of a sudden, everything seems to start going right for the Canadian in the blue. Oh, you moved to your new house. How is it? I guess stressful to move. Great micro around the traps for Maldhar. I agree. Okay, we're taking frontline gold in the south. Yeah, that's a nice sneak, but we have to stay with the fights. Maldhar's trying to fight on the hill. 50 CA versus 60 CA, but with the hill I prefer the 50, also with the reinforcements coming in. Maldhar did not find that Favorite is on this gold. We'll find out shortly now, as he is sending his own villagers there. And there will be a phase of some peaceful sharing. Could be massive in the long run. It's the only remaining gold. There's some in the middle. But yeah, indeed, there's not much gold left on the map. Yeah, the south is all the gold there is. There is the workshops, of course, and there is the relics. Those are firmly in Favorite's hands. Packing boxes for books? No, the other way around. Oh. Favorite retreats from the gold, but it's mined out. Sad moments for Maldhar. KD still in Favorite's advantage. No, it can't be in his advantage, but I didn't want to say Favorite's favor. And it's 75 to 41 CA. Ugh, that gold might have been the game turn changer, together with the relic gold, who is also now given a 2k gold advantage to the player in the red. Hussar raids starting onto the farms of Maldhar. Calling it now, whoever starts Otter shopping wins. Hezi takes taking over the DM world. Wood game? There's still gold on the map, Lucky. Don't get ahead of yourself. Just watch my rack. You know what comes after the wood game. Okay, Mega Hussar raids now on to favorite as well. In the south, so both are starting to raid. Siege Workshop. Not taken by favorite. You need to get pretty close to retake it. What time did we cast where someone wanted to shop the first 5 minutes and it went to wood? That was Hezi versus Sayu, I think. Was last Sunday, right? I think it was in the first set. Same set where Hezi did the 190 slingers game and your game bugged out. And showed a completely different game where the other player won. That was so safe. So crazy. Bristle win! I didn't know you could do a view streak without writing anything. As the trap goes down and Cavatchers are surrounded. Good fight for Maldhar. Favorite looking somewhere else. Maybe to the other fight here. Wait, it's trying to snipe a trap. CA counts the better for red. Plenty of wood lines to go around. So if it's about wood, then it could be long. And I have a problem. Because I need to go somewhere. Now that Sudden Death and TDM finally ended. Ended? I'm not sure what you're watching, Maxi. There will be another TDM set tomorrow before the Otter Monday free-for-alls. So after the TDM set tomorrow, the playoff between KD and Trixo, there will be free-for-alls. Mega Hussar raids being dealt with here. What's the eco KD? Maldhar is doing good in the raiding game. It's his favorite part of the game. Man loves raiding. Interesting to see nobody's out microing millions in front of CFL. Oh yeah, they're not doing the dance, right? It's a thing if you want to concentrate on one fight, right? If you want to concentrate on one fight and then do the dance. Or if you want to instead micro like your other units and send raiding parties in, go for map control, secure wood lines, like move through that kind of stuff with your clicks. And some high elo RMs do the dancing a lot. I think some other players prefer to like take other points in the map at the same time as fighting. Also, Maldhar isn't the fastest player. You can quickly look at the APM. Oh, it's relatively high. I mean, Maldhar... No, never mind. Maldhar's at 80 APM right now. Well, they're both switching between 60 and 80, so... It's not that, like, nearing 100 now. Okay, they're not that slow. Astur! What's up? Yeah, we even had a CA opening this game. Why don't you say hi? It's a good point. Maldhar should be living the life right now. I'm doing great. I'm watching some exciting deathmatch. Yesterday's stream was amazing. I was very exhausted because I streamed for 10 hours, but it was great. And Maldhar is pushing back in the north. We're fighting over control of this workshop. Gold fully empty for both. There is the 4-1 relic lead. But there's also the Magyar Hussar, who are now better than the front line for the Tatars. And the CA with more range, which is also better now. At this stage, Magyars have a straight up advantage. Because both their front line, both their Hussar is stronger and their Cavalry is a little bit better. As there's no Keshiks, no Camels anymore. That, in the earlier stages, tipped the scale of the front line being stronger towards the Tatars. One advantage left for the Tatars. Now the better trebuchets with their 19 range. At Maldhar incessantly raiding. There is a reason his C-mod teams were always called Kalistrage, which is what his opponents were meant to say when they were getting raided by Oracle and by the French-Canadian playing in this series. We have 50 viewers without raid? Nice. I mean, I'm just believing you. Yeah, you're right. We had 70 for the semis yesterday. I had some raids before that. I mean, I kept them well, but yeah, we had 70 for the semis yesterday. It's true. But these 50 are completely without raids, which makes it kind of even cooler. So yeah, glad you're here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're here for the first time and you're enjoying the big deathmatch action, or if you yearn for free-falls, you can leave a follow, and then you know when I'm live next. Maldhar is maneuvering his units towards the north. Big blob of Magyar Hussar. We have got 84 farms to 66. Extra armor not more relevant? Let's compare. We do have 15 more HP. That's quite useful, I think. We do have in the meat shield with meat shield find a big advantage of 4 more attack. And we do have 1 more armor, 1 more pierce armor, right? And 1 more melee armor. I think 4 more attack and 15 HP are better than the armor, yeah. It also means that, like, when you Magyar Hussar get onto the CA, they actually do damage. With regular Hussar, it's really not much damage that you're getting onto the CA, but if something like this happens, right, and the food unit jumps the gold unit to trade food for gold, the Magyar Hussar trade a lot better. Just because they're dealing, what, 11 damage, minus the armor, minus 7, so they actually deal 4 damage. No, minus the 6. 11 minus 6, so they deal 5 damage. If a Hussar with 11 attack jumps onto a Magyar CA, that's 11 minus 5. I must have made a mistake. Yeah, I made a mistake. They're doing 5 damage, the other ones are doing 7 or 8. Because I did count 11, 16. It's 16 minus 5, right? 16 minus 6. They're doing 10 damage and they're doing double the damage to a CA. 10 instead of 5. Got it now. Nearly math. If anybody's subscribed to Nearly, still did nearly math, I guess. But we did it. 10 damage versus 5 against the opponent's CA. Okay, we get a quick zoom out and look at wood counts. After this raid, that Maldhar is fixing, both at full pop. We have a lot of wood here in the south. We have some wood here in the back, some wood at the top, but mainly it's the southern area and in between the players. Overall, there's a lot of wood still. 77k are left on the map, so if this is a wood game, which it kind of is, we'll be here for a while. It's also a workshop game though, right? There's still objectives on the map, so it's not only wood is the objective. And the gold you get from workshops, that's at this stage pretty important. Favorite had more control over them longer. Maldhar is trying to push the workshops, trying to push the northern workshop with the castle. CA numbers are reduced 33 to 70 though. Are they even fighting here? Yeah, I mean, favorite got some advantages, right? He has the 4 relics, he has more workshop time, he has more CA. It's the Mega Hussar that's keeping Maldhar a bit in this, because they can actually damage the CA. That's what I just did the math for. 100 wills is too much? You could argue for that, but you need a lot of farms in order to spam Mega Hussar, so... I don't mind that, especially because he doesn't have so many CA left, so he needs more Mega Hussar, right? And then... Yeah, but also having bigger army is nice for these fights. Yeah, I think... on second thought, I do like the 87. But it allows Maldhar to collect more wood, so... Guess for the wood game it's good. He's losing some builds on the southern wood. Oh, but he got a workshop, importantly. Don't know what an ICBM is, but the traps go down for favorite. 1 trap goes down, 3 traps are on the run. Mega Hussar are dying. Okay, they can't decide, do you want to kill the CA or do you want to kill the trebuchets? Favorite also like getting that forward gold earlier, that southern gold allowed him to just make CA when Maldhar couldn't make CA anymore. I think that's like the main basis of why he has the bigger CA mass. Ah, it's a ballistic missile, I see. Yeah, they are rolling. They rolled forwards and now they rolled back. In fear of the... I don't know, what is this then? Is this an anti-air missile? The Mega Hussar would be an anti-flak? Is the Mega flak? Flak gun? I don't know. How do you say it in English? I think you do say AAMs, but that's anti-aircraft missile. I'm not sure if you say that for anti-missile missiles as well. Well, the Mega Hussar are trying to snipe the traps, alright? That's basically what I'm saying, and they're getting a lot of great kills on the Cav Archers! They are very stacked up though. How many CA is that in here? 26? Okay, 3 die. 5 die, 6 die. I mean, it's value. It's gold unit for no gold unit. You have 78 kills. It's not that many actually for 17 CA. That's a really nice fight for Maldhar, reducing the numbers there. It's still like double the CA numbers. Maxi, 15 minutes is over. You can't call GG anymore. Why does Friendly only ever fight with like 30% of his CA? That's a good question. Yeah, I was surprised that there was more in that stack because I thought it was all of his CA, but it wasn't. Where's Maldhar's CA? They're in the south keeping the workshop because he wants to make more CA. Actually has some gold. Mega Hussar looking to raid again. Normal Hussar looking to raid again as well. So we are entering a raiding game. Monastery is so exposed for Maldhar. Oh yeah, we have Frontal Monastery. It's only 1 relic in there, so guess we're not hunting. It's also Frontal Monasteries for favorite, which might matter more, because, well, he has 4 in there. You know what else is exposed for Maldhar? His Cav Archers! Oh, that's more important than the 1 relic, I think. Oh, it doesn't take that much damage. I would really like to see him garrison them in a castle and heal them. Or like make a monk. He has a monk and heal them. In one of the 2 ways, I would really like to see those CA healed. Your eyes, this isn't even close to a Frontal Monastery. This is Division 1A. People do place their monasteries in there. No, Maldhar did place it on top on like array. Let's not talk about monasteries. Everybody's Dutch these days. Yeah, that's not a good fight for Maldhar. That's a hill with the Tatars. I don't think you get to snipe the CA there. He's retreating. At least the monk is actively healing the CA now. But it died. So what did the monk die here? Oh, that one CA. Shoot one arrow. Everybody's dodge? Yeah, I used to call, when you make a monastery to where relic is on the map, I used to call it a legend monastery. But then legend stopped doing it. And then I was casting, I don't know if it was Rodney vs. Sao or something. So 2 Dutch players playing against each other. And they made all the monasteries in the middle of the map. And so I had to rename it because legend wasn't doing it anymore. And then after that I saw more Dutch players doing it. So that's why I started calling it a Dutch monastery, because it seems to be an overwhelming numbers of Dutch players not making the monasteries in their bases. It's also a secret strategy that every German, of course, has to nerf the Dutch players in DM by making them make mistakes. So, go ahead. Stand ground patrol by the Mega Hussar. Is it useful against the CA ball? Let's see. We're dancing. We're dancing there. We're dancing. Finally, somebody wanted to see Hussar dances. There was a Hussar dance. And instantly Maldhar sees the favorite is dancing and retreats. Dutch bankruptcy strats rather, right? Just bring all the CA and end it, favorite? Can you just end it by bringing all the CA, or is that a way to lose your CA? And therefore the game. How are we looking on wood control? Well, both are still taking wood with a few villagers in the south. Maldhar does have the bigger wood bank. Nobody's made onagers to chop yet. Maldhar is raiding the wood economy up top. Maldhar has eco KD advantage. Is he healing them? I would really like to see him heal each CA. Just put him in a castle when they're not fighting, right? I mean, they're kind of constantly fighting, I guess. So it's hard. More traps for favorite. That crap, Tatar traps is so crazy, man. The fact that they're reaching from here, it looks so unnatural. And that means the CA can sit on a hill and the traps can fire from in front of it. That is so huge. Like, normal traps would have to stay here and be exposed downhill. Or you get to that hill, but like the fact it makes it so much easier to position your armies around hills that the traps have the 2 more range. And therefore, favorite can force a great engagement here, because he can force Maldhar to fight against the hill. One trap gets sniped, one trap survives. Maldhar has recovered a bit on CA numbers. He has 40 now. Still some in production for favorite. Everywhere blinking in favorite space. He's heavily getting raided behind this. We looked at the front, but there's only 55 villagers remaining for favorite. Massive raids by Maldhar. Favorite is losing all his villagers. That's a comeback possibility for Maldhar. If he can snipe the trap, stop the push, he can basically win on the raids potentially here. 55 villagers. That is not enough to sustain a meat shield. Maldhar still has 77 farmers. He does push the trebuchets back. Favorite forced to retreat because Maldhar pillaged his base into submission. Also, double workshop control, kind of sneakily. Maldhar has control, has those extra resources. Really important to re-add back in the CA workshops. Very helpful here because it allows more CA queue, and there is 8 more CA queued. Maldhar might be able to mount a comeback here on the back of the raids. Favorite though realizing well, getting back onto 70 villagers, but it does give Maldhar some breathing room. He knows for a while now favorite won't be able to repop his Hussar meat shield, and that's when Maldhar can take fights, so he's moving forward. Military count is not skyrocketing for Faf. He's below population, can't reproduce his meat shield right now. He also lost a lot at the front, so there was actually no queue in order to replace those units. Maldhar though doesn't have the traps, really doesn't really have anything to force a fight with, and therefore cannot profit from the moment where favorite was lower population. So he just goes, let's do it again. Let's raid more. He's killing farms? Is that really the stage already? Well, there's only 1k wood for favorite. Maldhar is not raiding anymore. He's already sniping farms. Is that too early? The anti-wood game strats are already coming out at the 1 hour 10 minute mark. With still 61k wood on the map. I feel like just killing villagers would have been better here. I think that was too high IQ attempt by Maldhar. There's so much wood still. I mean, arguably favorite has no wood, but I think that was too early for farm snipes. He's watched too many of my games. Yeah, I think he watched too many of your games. There was not the stage for it yet. Or maybe he did watch the game I played earlier. But, like, I don't know. I like the farm snipes. There is a moment in Deathmatch, in long games, in wood games, where you do go for farm snipes. I just don't think it was there yet. Pushes back the CA though. CA numbers are getting closer. 45 to 75. More wood villagers going down for favorite. Favorite does still have, or once again have 20 on gold. Either both have one trade workshop. Otter raid by favorite in the north. Nobody has siege at the end. This is going even longer. Yeah, I'm just trying to surpass a moment. I know professional caster. Watch Maldhar CA. Okay, I'm back, but that was needed. If this game goes 2 hours, I would have not been able to cast it otherwise. Maldhar is losing the CA. Maldhar, no! You're looking at your raids. Oh, Maldhar lost half his CA there. While he's raiding, at least he's raiding villagers again. And not just sniping farms. But that was very costly. Ooh, not looking at his CA for a bit. I didn't like that they were standing there all the time anyways. Why would they just stand there? I mean, I guess he was trying to get the workshop, but... Didn't even get the workshop. Okay, returning the favor now, maybe? Yeah, there went the comparable army number. Now it's still 71, or once more 71 to 35, once more double the CA in favorites. Camp. Favorite now also has 38 wood choppers. Forward? No. I think Maldhar was trying to control the wood there, maybe. 4x huge. Voodoo was 3-2, I'd feel more confident. They play a bit of less overall because you can get the workshops every once in a while, but favorites also mainly controlling them, right? If favorite keeps Maldhar off wood, it will be difficult to rebuild farms. Maldhar has 10k wood bank though. Like, Maldhar was the one trying to keep favorite off of wood not too long ago, and I think that's still what he's going for. So many mega fans. I think part of the reason why favorite had the position for the mid game was that Tatar is stronger there. Yeah, at this stage might make it better. But the camels and Kashyyyks were used by favorite pretty well, so it did also use a Sith strength there in the mid game to have the advantage. Yeah, Maldhar is a raid enjoyer. He is raiding a lot. That is food that favorite constantly needs to spend on your villagers. It's also food Maldhar is spending, of course, on his raiding units, though. Oh, you said better late. Huh. I didn't read the late. Yeah, I agree. They're better late. I just thought you simply said better. There was also a few Caravaggio kills. It's 82 though for favorite. He's at the south. He's trying to cut off the wood supply. Maldhar kind of can't afford traps because he has to invest every gold he gets into trying to get comparable CA numbers. Almost hit 500 eco kills. Can you tell us in which set it was? You don't want to spoil it. I mean, should still lead the people to a certain VOD, maybe. I'm guessing it was in Biscuits versus Jade. They haven't seen it yet, and that sounds like a Jade Arrow Gamer game. Ah! I know my players, man. Those two could easily go for a 2-hour raiding game. And I know the set was long because of when you raided me. Because of when you raided me yesterday. Massive raids for Maldhar once again. And we're going for a TC snipe. We really like to mix it up on those raids, right? Villagers, farms, TCs. The farm snipe is so premature. I think the TC snipe is also premature. I guess it makes it easier to raid later on. If he snipes all these TCs, the farms are super exposed then, right? Maybe this is smart? Do we like the TC snipes? I like it that they're doing something. It's not just mindlessly doing the same thing over and over again. Maldhar is trying to raid with a purpose. That was so close. 64 HP remaining on that TC snipe. This almost feels like sudden death with the town center. And I guess the workshop again. I mean, I do enjoy Aftermath for this kind of really high level late game stuff. I think kind of Aftermath was a bit of a boring map, I think, overall. But this game is like kind of redeeming Aftermath because the workshops do give an extra element to this late game. So that's nice. It's pushing wood positions again. Maldhar has no wood choppers anymore. He still has a bit of wood in the back of his base, even as this wood line untouched. They're constantly kind of raiding this. He does have all these stables. I wonder if you want to clear them at some point. But it's so many, right? It would take forever to clear these stables. 16 stables here on the left side. Don't! We're seeing it all in this game, aren't we? I really wish Maldhar would heal his CA in casters. Ooh, people have Town Bell emotes. The raid for Maldhar is coming into town. Vid, boom, boom. Okay, I didn't get the melody right. Is Maldhar the Pippi Langstrumpf of DM though? How do you call Pippi Langstrumpf in English? Pippi Long Sock? That sounds shitty though. Long Stockings. Sounds a bit better. Is it still PP? PP long stocking. Okay. Yeah, how do you call it in French, Aurico? The famous children's book about the anarchic girl that lives in a house with an elephant, so on. With a horse? I think with a horse, not with an elephant. You have no idea what you're talking about? Pipilankus! Pipilankus in Dutch? Swedish culture mentioned? Yeah, indeed. But Aurico doesn't get it. French are immune to Swedish culture, it seems. Guess it's called very different, like l'ordinateur. It's a word that has nothing to do with anything. Favorite has a push. He's pushing with trebuchets. You like the Estonian spelling better? What's the Estonian spelling, Akai? As I think Favorite is winning the game now. He's pushing. Maldhar has 140 villagers. We got distracted a bit. Happens in a 1.5 hour game. But Favorite is playing the winning move now. He has the 70 CA. He has the triple trebuchet stack. He's aiming to win this. Maldhar's population is dropping. The Mega Hussar numbers aren't there anymore to defend this. It was a nice drawn out game, really fun to watch, lots of action, but Favorite has the mass to end it. No. Fifi Brindacier! It's completely different as Maldhar calls the GG, and in a 1.5 hour epic wood game, farm snipes, TC snipes, everything included, Favorite takes it to match point in the bronze match and is looking hot in order to go onto the podium of Tarnished Deathmatch 6. But I still can't get over the fact that Fifi Brindacier is the French translation for Pippi Langstrumpf. Or Pippi Longstockings, I guess. It's so completely different. 200 more CA build for Favorite. I think that matters a lot. That does matter a lot. And it comes down to the 4 relics and to the Southern Gold Steel. Sniper pointed it out well at the time. 537 CA produced to 314. We saw the double the number of Hussar produced though. Maldhar has 1,671. Mega Hussar produced to 980 only for Favorite, who also added some cachings. Crazy statistics more here. Katie, 400 better for Favorite. Maldhar collected more resources, mainly a lot more food to keep up the Mega Hussar production there. 133k food collected to 98k. That's almost 35k more food for the Canadian and Maldhar. Also with the bigger villagers. Therefore, with the smaller army, we had a 273 APM spike for Favorite. Probably nothing happened there as always, but let's see what it was. Probably dancing somewhere. The fight where we danced? Yeah, dancing. So Dancing Hussar were the APM, and Favorite takes game number 3. In Finnish, he's Peppy Long Slippers Sneakers. Oh, Peppy, yeah. One of the bars I like around here is also called Peppy. We're going to Serengeti for game number 4. And they started right away, so even though it was a 1.5 hour game, we have no time to waste. Megas went down to Tatars. I don't have water anymore. But I'm scared to take a break here in the bronze match. And on Serengeti, I think it's gonna be Japanese for Maldhar against, or maybe Turks. No, I think it's Turks. Oh, there could be like a Turks versus Koreans or Turks versus Celts. Or maybe a Teuton push. Oh, there wasn't Runestones, there was Aftermath. Saying Turks with Celts? Saying Turks with Celts. It still has all his top sieves? Yep, he does. See, maybe he does a lower pick instead of finishing it first. He does a lower pick! It is the Hindustanis, the Armor bait pick. Just that it wasn't an Armor picking it, also it wasn't a bait. There was just nothing better remaining at the end of the Civ draft. For something in Fool's Garden, we can look at it in between the bronze match and the grand finals, because they are speeding through it even after a 1.5 hour game. And the way you spell that in Finnish is pretty much not safe for work in Norwegian. Oh wow. Hindus straight going for the market for favorite. We've got Hezzy's favorite civilization, the Japanese in the south. For Maldhar, once again, it is some barracks into a Cav play here. And the interesting question for the Hindustanis is, do you go hand cannons or do you go CA? Vietnamese against Gujaras. I was very far off. I got Maldhar Civ right? I said Japanese was... Ah, no, I mentioned Japanese, but I said Turks. The rush coming? Well, some Imperial Camels. Heavy market usage. Massive selling for favorite. Hindustanis need a lot of gold. I mentioned 6 civs? No, I mentioned Turks and Japanese. I mentioned only 2 civs for Maldhar. Maldhar only mentioned Japanese and Turks. Maybe the worst civ matchup possible for Hindustan is? In the available civs or overall? I think overall there's worse things. It is CA for the Hindustanis. Yeah, in the draft they made a bit of sense. I think against the 2 camel civs that Maldhar has left. But overall there's a lot other bad matchups for Hindus. I'm not thinking this is specifically bad. Yeah, but they don't have 1 unit you can't counter, right? I think Persians is worse. Persians just make 50 elephants and Hindustani is dead. So that's easier to kill. Japanese, you still need to play a normal game. Hindustanis have hussars, so they have more mobility. It's hard for the Japanese to always have helps in the fights. Because helps are slow, and they're slower than Cav archers, and you can snipe them with your own Cav archers or with the hand cannons. So I don't think it's that bad of a matchup. Like, good elephant civ is way harder to stop for Hindus. And a good siege civ as well, actually. Like, I think Celts is harder as well. But that's taking a hill position. It's still nice, obviously, for the Japanese. You'd have the stronger CA. You have good halberdiers against the camels. And you have, I guess, samurai versus Gulam. And that's kind of a bad thing for the Japanese, so needing samurai in the matchup is always weird for them, because they want to make trebuchets, not samurai, from their castles. So Gulam's kind of countering the rest and forcing the Japanese player into samurai isn't too great for the Japanese. Maldhar has got a bit of a central hill position. Favorite will do the same. We're in Division 1A, not 1A, we're in the top 4. So people are actually making castles on hills in Serengeti. Favorite has one there as well, and other than that, map probably split pretty 50-50. Big fight on the hill. Halberdiers as a frontline isn't that great, right? They're bad against the CA. They need to get onto the camels to have an impact. That's why having the CAF CA Civ can be better against Japanese, even though the CA vs CA fight is better for Japan. And we see Go Clubs! Do they do anything? No. As always, they don't do shit. As almost always. I think there was one game in this season where Gulams had a good impact, won the game, something like that. Not the greatest fight for Maldhar. Camels onto the CA, not microing the CA back. Now some Hussar appear, but that could have been a better fight for Maldhar if he just retreated the CA onto the hill. Both castles on the hills have gone down or been denied, and Maldhar is now jumping onto the forward ship. Shade has a lot of Hindustani takes in the chat. No, Gulam. Almost exclusively a shit unit in the air. They're good against foot archers, and nobody uses foot archers in the air. CA run away. Infantry kills them. Siege kills them. Cavalry kills them. They counter foot archers. And there's like 2 civs that make foot archers in the air. You can count Ethiopians as well, that's 3. Yeah, Maya and Britain. And then if you count Ethiopians, that's 3, but Ethiopians has 2 Scorpions with that and all the Gulams die, so they're useful against Mayas and Britons. That's it. Maldhar pushing heavily forward with the CA, the Gulams are going down to the CA, because the CA just run away from them and micro them down. Are they microing them down? Well, I mean, it's just numbers, right? 5 Gulams versus these. You could go full Gulam, but that costs a lot of gold, so that's also really not an option. You want to invest your gold into better units, and the Katabruto Trebuchets making this a nice push for Maldhar. He's pushing a lot of the things back, and there's no army for favorite. He's actually going full Gulam. Let's go, baby. According to some people in chat, they can bring it back for favorite. Let's see if Jade was right. Can the Gulams bring it back? They're not masked. In order to be a bit fairer to Jade, he should mask the Gulams, so you could judge masked Gulams. It still has some villages on gold. Maybe you could mask them. But now, favorite doesn't trust the Gulam. Calls the GG, and Maldhar makes it onto the scoreboard with the Japanese. Who fixed Maya? Well, nobody. Which is making the Gulam any better, I guess. They don't even counter Britons with all that rage. Yeah, I said there's too much of you make them in. Not like that they're good necessarily. But we shouldn't overshadow the hype for Maldhar, who does win a game in the 3rd place match with the Japanese. Didn't even need the samurai against the Gulams. So I guess forcing Japanese into Gulams, into samurai didn't really work, because Gulams are too bad. And Cav and Halberdiers did manage to take the day. Baby versus Pitbull. Pitbulls can be quite friendly dogs. Maybe Samurai and Gulam can get along well as well. We do have Boras collected for favorite, but the Japanese army proved to be superior even without him screaming his units forward. And Maldhar takes game number 4. And isn't quite out of it yet. The reverse sweep might have started here. Mayas were admin banned, by the way, so the players couldn't even pick them. And the Japanese beat the Hindus. It was the last pick for favorite. He still has his top 3 picks, which he can play now. So the reverse sweep will be extra hard. We are going to Runestones. The long game for 1 wasn't Runestones, right? So we might see another 2-hour game. What does Maldhar play now? I guess you play Franks against these 3? Yeah, I would say it's Franks for Maldhar into Koreans. Yeah, I'm saying Franks Koreans. I need to get a drink. I'm gonna load in first so we don't miss it. And I need to refill my water. You guys can keep guessing. It's for favorite Turks. We're back. Let me know what you think. Alright. Sniper says Maldhar has to play Turks here. Now against Celts or Koreans. That was exactly Maldhar's thinking. But that was also Favorite's thinking. So he hits Maldhar with the counter pick to the Turks. He hits him with the Vietnamese. Not using one of his top 3 picks, but expecting the Turks and countering them with elephants. And I think that's smart. It's a really good Civ pick against Turks. Favorite winning the 3D chess in the 3rd place match. Can he carry it through though? Turks do have heavy scorp, which counters infantry, elephants, and red notches. So the 3 mainline units of the Vietnamese. So they're not completely out of options, even though Turks kind of struggle against elephants, typically. He's really could win a series without using any of his top picks. Looks like it. I won my sudden death finals without winning with any of my top picks. I mean, I did use them, but I lost with them. I won with my 3 final picks. So, it's possible. You drafted Berbers twice and didn't use them. And Breeze did dominate Division... What were you in? Division 4? So, I guess that's kind of crazy not using Berbers, but yeah, you won every series, right? So, I guess it paid off. Going with Elephant without pikes is the tough part here. Scorpions are being in production though. The hard thing for Maldhar is that Scorpions need a meat shield, and yeah, well, no, Spearman meat shield isn't really an option, is it? CA rush kind of doesn't find anything. Favorite building very compact. Sending villagers forward for a very early forward castle. That's very optimistic castle, my favorite. It's right on the army of Maldhar. He knows where the opponent is, right? Yeah, he does. Well, that is a castle of all time. Ignore the spreadsheet. 75% win rate, but Breeze doesn't need it. It's another statement castle. He's building a statement castle behind the statement castle. Is this LSD your favorite? He's double castle forwarding instantly. Well, he deletes one. But the statement castle is now being built. It's behind the elephants. Now you got the timing. The castle is going up behind the elephants and they're making it super hard for Maldhar. I think this can work. As long as it's behind the elephants, it's a great castle. Because now Maldhar can't engage the castle because he has to run everything back from the elephants. That's how you elephant push with the fall-in castle on the forward hill. It's also on a hill, guys. Very close generation here. It's kind of terrible for Turks. A super unlucky runestones gen. I remember Maldhar was complaining about the Savannah map, that it can spawn so close. That would never happen on runestones. That's why Savannah is better and runestones is better. I'm so unlucky with the close gens, and well, it can happen on runestones too, and Maldhar can fall victim to the same phenomenon, independent of which standard map script is in the map pool. I mean, obviously, unlucky again for Maldhar, but like, it's kind of funny that it happens on runestones too, after he was insisting they would never happen on runestones. Elephants are rolling rampage over his base. He's trying to collect the scorpions at the back of the base. Cavachers are here. Cavachers don't do much right now. It's a full elephant all-in favorite that is so beautifully against Frost in the group stage as well. So maybe some strategy to look at if you're freaking Andy. If you're about to play Frost in the finals, maybe this is something you want to do in order to break the sweep. I would like to play Seal Game 6 as well, but Favorite disagrees. He doesn't want to play his 3 top picks. He says, I can win without those 3 civilizations, and I'm gonna make it happen here with the Vietnamese eco lead for Maldhar. He's retreating nicely. He's trying to build back from it, which is the right reaction. Siege workshops are all at the front, though. So I'm not too hopeful. There's 153 very strong army, 17k value. And okay, we placed another castle. We think that's not forward enough. Let's place it on the gold and on the hill. That's on the hill. Taking the gold more, taking the wood line. And he making these many alias before minute 10 would be a minor miracle. He did win with Bengalis. But yeah, he needs space for 150 villagers, so. But I honestly think, man, he should play more like this and less like he played yesterday against Frost. Against Frost, you need the giant army. And that's what I'm a bit worried for Andy in the grand finals that we're about to see. That he doesn't go for the big armies, but goes for the big ecos. And the big eco approach isn't the best against Frost stylistically. Hey, I explained why it makes sense. Wait, you said you donate $50 if you get Civ predictions right? Okay, now I'm rooting for you to get Civ predictions right. Quite big time if it's really $50. Maldhar calls to GG, there will be no game 6 to guess civilizations here. So if I'm excited for that, I'm getting worried. Yeah, Vietnamese really smart counter pick here. Beautiful execution by Favorite. Great moment there with that castle, right? That's the center of the story. Yeah, this elephant army prepared. Then we were like, what the fuck is this castle? And then Favorite comes with a champion and a villager, and it looks really stupid to try to make this castle. And he's like, okay, no, I built this one. And then we're still like, okay, will that happen? We'll just go back. And the elephants appear. And all of a sudden, it's a great castle. And it wins the game. Favorite did the wrong Sif. He had kills on every Runestones game in CMOD. Ooh, somebody did research. Man, I was trying to snipe the bombard cannons. But all the while his base got wrecked. Favorite likes Kells a lot. He's a Bengali sailor. Well, he wanted Kells for game 7, right? Looks like Favorite can play Elephant Sifs though. Maybe not the Bengalis if he hates them, but he was playing the Vietnamese really nicely. Say I was wrong against Vietnamese, I think, just Cable plus Scorp. Yeah, I think I agree, but there's no really good solution. But yeah, I agree. I think the CA didn't do anything, and it was kind of clear they wouldn't do anything. Not against elephants, right? With extra hit points. Neither against red archers if they come out. But yeah, Maldhar at least took a game here in the bronze match. But Favorite enters the podium. He didn't get another match versus Frost. But after he made it so close versus Frost in the group stage, I think it's very deserved that he at least gets some money for the 3rd place. And makes it onto the podium. And after finishing last in his group last TDM, will make it to the top 3 this time. We can take a look at how it was there, how it will be now. We do have 15 minutes until the grand finals. So let's get in shape for that. Yeah, a little bit of recap maybe towards the previous season. Favorite there, finishing last in Group 1B. Yeah, Bengali hater is interesting, yeah. He did win with Bengalis against Frost. I mean, maybe he doesn't like the Sif, but he knows how strong it is, right?
I just donate anyway. Great casts, Otter. Thank you for your passion for TDM.
Thank you so much, Sniper. Thanks a lot. Thanks massively for all your support, everything you're doing for DM as well. I mean, you admin this season. It was a hard season to admin with all the Christmas based dropouts, I guess, and Red Bull and a lot else going on. Yeah, thank you so much. Also for, like, I don't know, recognizing the work, I guess. Feels good. I'm trying not to get emotional here, that's why I'm not, like, sounding overly enthusiastic. I hope you forgive me for that. Yeah, thank you so much. $50 is massive donation. And yeah, great hype for the finals. We're all excited, right? Grand finals next. And yeah, also Sniper did obviously Caster's Clash, right? He's doing a lot for the scene. And Caster's Clash kind of worked as well. We had so many casters this season. You guys all did great with the casting, with the organizing. Thanks a lot. So I was talking about Favorite, right? He had a hard run last time. Trappy played really good. And it was all close series though, right? He lost 4-1 to Gandhi there. Then close series, really close series with Keller there. Really close series with Trappy. So it was a bit of an undeserved last place maybe. And now this season he does make it onto the podium. Wikipedia even updated. Let's go. Maldhar defeated in the grand place in the 3rd place match. And Favorite is in the top 3. I'm not sure if it reflects here yet. Also prize pool needs to be updated. But